The Sikandar trailer has dropped, and oh boy, it's exactly what you'd expect from a Salman Khan Eid release. Slow motion entries, over-the-top action, punchy dialogues, an anti-gravity hero, a larger-than-life villain, a love interest who may or may not have more than 5 dialogues, and of course, a climax where physics resigns permanently. So the trailer opens with a dark and gritty setup. Corrupt politicians, goons laughing maniacally, innocent people struggling, and the world looking like a dystopian nightmare. And then, before you can even take a breath, fire, smoke, chaos. And walking out of it like an immortal warrior is Salman. No dust on his clothes, no sign of exhaustion, just raw swag and a dialogue that sounds like it was written fate itself. Jab Sikandar khada ho jaye, to takdir bhi badalni pati hai. Translation? When I stand, even fate has to change its plans. Bro, fate is literally packing its bags and looking for another universe at this point. And then, the action begins. Salman Khan isn't just fighting bad guys, he's sending them to another dimension. One punch and the goon lands in another franchise. Kicks that send people into orbit. Bullets that he dodges not by moving, but by slightly tilting his head. At one point, he lifts a guy and throws him into a car so hard that the car gives up on life. And of course, there's a signature moment where he removes his shirt and everyone, including the villain, pauses for a moment to admire his physics-defying existence. Speaking of villains, we have a classic Bollywood evil mastermind, a politician/businessman/generic bad guy who spends 90% of the trailer smirking and 10% delivering dramatic one-liners. He looks at Sikandar and confidently says, "Power surf hathon mein achi lagti hai." To which Bhai obviously responds with something so Sidi Mar that the audience will memorize it before even entering the theater. He's played by a veteran actor who looks like he already knows he's going to get beaten up in the climax. His main skills? Looking smug, having a deep voice, and making the classic villain mistake of underestimating Salman Khan. And then we have Rashmika Mandanna, who is here for the love story. Now, in mass movies like this, romance isn't about deep emotional connection. It's about eye contact, slow motion hair flips, and a song where the hero and heroine dance in a location that has absolutely nothing to do with the plot. Rashmika looks stunning, and she gets a few important moments in the trailer, probably as someone who believes in Sikandar when no one else does. But let's be honest, the real romance here is between Salman and his slow motion action scenes. Now, back to the action, because let's face it, that's why we're here. Every scene is designed for maximum impact. There's a high-speed chase where Sikandar jumps from a moving vehicle, lands perfectly, and starts fighting without even adjusting his shirt. There's an explosion where he walks through flames like a god who doesn't acknowledge fire. And the final showdown? It's the classic Bollywood formula. Hero versus villain in a deserted location, background music swelling, slow motion punches, and a final dialogue that will be used in Instagram captions for the next 5 years. Music-wise, Pratham is handling the soundtrack, so expect at least one item song, one sad emotional track, and one high-energy fight anthem that plays every time Salman lands a punch. The background score by Santosh Narayanan is intense, making every scene feel like the climax of an epic war. The visuals are grand, the scale is massive, and the overall vibe is, don't question logic, just enjoy the madness. Now let's talk about the hits and misses. On the plus side, Salman is in full action mode, the dialogues are whistle-worthy, the stunts are absolutely bonkers, the villain is smug enough to deserve his fate, and the film looks like a festival in itself. On the downside, the story looks extremely predictable. Hero versus system, we've seen this before. The romance seems like an obligation rather than an actual emotional connection. And if you're looking for realism, my friend, you are in the wrong theater. Final verdict? If you love Salman Khan, high-energy action, dialogues that make theaters erupt, and logic-defying entertainment, then Sikandar is tailor-made for you. If you prefer subtlety, nuanced storytelling, and movies that respect gravity, then well, why are you even watching a Salman Khan trailer? Either way, this is going to be an Eid blockbuster, and theaters will be packed with fans throwing confetti at every punch. So what do you think? CDMAR blockbuster or just another slow-mo action overload? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for more crazy film reviews because whether it's action or cringe, we cover it all.